All right, welcome back. And we've since been joined by Osita Osemene, who is the president of Patriotic Citizen Initiatives, and of course, a returnee himself. Actually came back a long time ago. Osita, thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank
you
you.
heard the story of Michael, and does it in any way surprise you at all?
No, no, it's not strange to me. And
Because you also have your own story back in 2004.
yes,
You also tried and...
yes, it's not strange to me. And that's the daily happening. It's what has been happening, and it's what is happening, still happening on the road.
Yes.
And a lot of Nigerian youths are passing through those horrible experiences now.
And from what Michael said,
Yeah.
you know, clearly the lack of information is also a problem. I mean, somebody came to his studio, told him he could make much money, you know, from his painting or drawings in Europe and all of that, and that's it. He packed his things and heading straight to Europe. Is it the case with most of those who choose to embark on this journey?
Yeah, a larger percentage is the case. Lack of information, ignorance is a major key to the push, what is actually pushing a lot of Nigerians into this. And capitalizing on the vulnerability and the desperation of our youths. You know, they see it as a major key to lie to them and tell them a lot of cock and bull stories, you know, sweet stories, paint it, make it look easy. At the end of the day, they keep these people trapped in the desert and kill them in the sea, sell them into slavery. So I think the major key is lack of information.
I know you're now organizing, you in partnership with the IOM now, you're organizing trainings for these returnees, and quite a number just came in recently now. Tell us about this training, what exactly you do, what the training is about, and if you're achieving positive results.
Yeah, so far so good. The training is going well, and kudos to the international community for their support and their understanding, because that training is key to the return migrants because of what they have gone through. It's not just only building their capacity in business, it's also taking them through a psychosocial therapy, kind of changing their mindset, because some of them have been traumatized, they have been dehumanized in a different way at every stages, the females and the males. So that training became key, and it's quite doing well, because some of the migrants are very happy with the training because we actually, before we start up the business skills, we take them through a kind of a reorientation session whereby we have to share our experiences, and coming from the fact that I have gone through that process, and also went through a kind of a rehabilitation stage. When I return back for 1 year, I know what it is. When you come back, when you have gone through that means and you come back, you will never remain the same. So the training became key, and that session became very important, that migrants should go through it. And a lot of them that have gone through this process, especially the reintegration training process, have been confessing positive. Their life has actually changed.
Michael, tell me, I mean, of course, I met you at one of the sessions of the program now. For you, how important is that program, and has it been very effective at all in you know, changing your perception and your outlook now towards life and generally?
You see that program is, I would say, it's made in heaven. I have to be very open, because it has given me a lot of self-confidence, okay? It has made me realize that I can still hope again. I can still bounce back and take my destiny in my hand and try to rearrange or redefine my life, okay? So I would say the program is just not me. Even a lot of people that came for the program,
Yeah.
before the program, had some doubts and negativities. There were a lot of pessimism. A lot of them were like, is this really going to work? Is this really happening? You wouldn't blame them, because of the society they find themselves. A lot of things are not just right. So in the process, we started from the first day to the fourth day, was actually for 4 days. I had noticed that a lot of changes. They all started sounding very positive, you know, trying to stay positive, and optimism was just in the air. A lot of people were like, oh wow, this is good. Then I remember asking a guy, a fellow colleague, I was like, bro, you go like go back. You know what he said? Are they mad? In other words, am I normal? That would be abnormality for me to want to go back. So he said, I want to take this thing seriously and to thank the IOM. A lady got so emotional and was crying and said, we have a government in place and these people are doing this instead of the government. And I said, you should not look that way. Just thank God that we have these people, the IOM. It's amazing. They are God sent. It's just amazing.
But Osita, I mean, despite what we see, we see in the media, so to speak, the number of people who die trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea, people sharing their experiences like Michael has been doing, you still find quite a number of Nigerians who still want to go. And, not quite long ago, it was reported that several migrants died at sea trying to cross from Libya to Europe.
Yeah, early this year.
So how come all of this is not stopping people?
Yeah, I think we're not using the right message, and the right people are not carrying out the message. We found out that some persons, the situation at hand in the country also encourages it. Like why I said the right persons are not carrying out the message. The issue of traveling requires reality.
Yes.
Requires a real message to be said as it is. A lot of people don't say it the way it's supposed to look like. They paint stories. So, and we are not actually going through getting to the roots. When I mean the root, the endemic areas, because a lot of traveling happened from. If you look at the history, you look at the statistics of movement, you see that people move from a particular region, and though it's spreading now, it has cut across all the geopolitical zones now, but it's spreading because of the lapses that the gap that was given by, especially the way we carry out our sensitization, the way we create the awareness, who is creating the awareness, and how is it creating the awareness. It matters a lot. So I believe that the information is not properly.
Do you think the government is doing enough to check this?
The government, to me, they are trying, but I still feel that they are not doing enough. They are not doing enough. And they are not doing enough in the sense that they are not proactive. They are too spontaneous in the approach. They kind of approach things when things get worse. That is not supposed to be so. Like I always say, prevention is better than cure. If a government that is very proactive would have used this opportunity now to begin to close other holes. Like I said, the time I traveled, it was Morocco, Spain.
Yes.
That was the booming trend then. Now, then Morocco had issues, and everybody diverted to Libya. Libya was open and was a little bit, there was no tension on the way. Now there's tension in Libya. Libya has been busted because of the slavery issue. Everybody have diverted back again because the trade is an organized sector. Is a kind of a crime that you cannot target to anybody. Is a smooth criminal syndicate.
Yes.
So if our government is proactive, they would have been able to capitalize on this issue to begin to close those loopholes. I'm telling you now that even with this evacuation, with this measure that we are taking now, like we call it reactive measure, we cannot stop it. Rather, it's going to increase it because we are not even matching up with the way the return is. Like the reintegration program now, apart from what IOM has done and with the structure they have kept on ground, the evacuation the Nigerian government have done, there is no proper structure for those people that have returned. And a majority of these people that become traffickers and smugglers are returnees. At the end of the day, when they are left uncared for, when they are neglected in society, they begin to see it as a very lucrative trade.
So there are traffickers among the returnees. That's what you're
saying. Every returnee is a potential trafficker.
And I think reasons
for somebody,
he has given.
For somebody who has gone through a process and returned back and see the way trades, the way people are being sold, the way they exchange, it's very easy for him or her to move people.
Yes.
And majority of the people on the return that were returned back are also people that have done the trade in one way or the other. So you give room. If these people are not properly handled when they return back, you give room for the market to explode.
Even societal vices.
Yes, a lot of things will explode, especially that trade. A lot of people now are saying that trafficking or smuggling is more lucrative now than drug trafficking.
You can imagine
and
that.
even arms trade. So it's very simple. It's not stressful. You can traffic people without showing your face. You know, all you need is to take your money and give them the directives on how. At every point, there's someone that receives you, and the person has gotten a lot. You know, so it's if we don't have a proper process that takes care of this evacuation, you know, like I said, on the government side, we are going to have more explosions in the nearest future.
God help Nigeria. The government in place should do something about it, because it is the future of this country that is at stake. When I mean the future, imagine someone that has been so traumatized in Libya, who has seen everything, who has been to hell and came back. I want you to imagine the kind of mindset that person would have and the kind of effect it would have on the society. Do you understand what I mean? He said, he talked about some people having to go back into that trade. When there's no possible means of sustenance and, you know, trying to redefine your life, you're just there staring at the government. Nobody's trying to help your life to bounce back again. You would want to go back for the thing you know the best, which is the human trafficking or what have you. Some of them would want to go into stealing. Do you understand? You see, you can never tell me that the common Nigerian would have the kind of mind that someone who has gone to Libya has. The person who has gone to Libya, it's a very civilized terrorist. That's what I call it. Because he's going to use his tactics and what have you to do whatever. It's going to be a problem to this Nigerian government. They have to fight as much as, like he said, put the right things in place. And, you know, God help us. God help us.
Osita, to be candid, you look at all of this. It's easy to say the government, you know, needs to do this, needs to do that. But the fact is that people too need to change their attitude.
Yeah, perception, attitude, and go back to our former
because this
values.
idea of believing everything is fine over there.
Yeah, it's phantom belief, and it has been created, and we need to recreate another belief again.
Yes.
And it takes a lot to recreate it, and who creates that belief matters a lot, and how you create it.
Yes.
You know, the fact that the environment actually is not actually conducive, that it's one of the push factors, doesn't mean that you pay money to go and kill yourself, or you pay money to become a slave.
It's just like paying money.
Yes, you know, and two, we also have to focus on the industry. Who are the marketers? Who are these people that are actually capitalizing on the vulnerability of our youth?
Yes.
To market them, to take them through this. We also have to consider them, because now that
the irony is that from what I have gathered, you know, reporting on this issue, is that some of these traffickers are actually highly respected people in society. You even have, you know, pastors. I mean, the clergy getting involved.
Highly
in the trade as well.
respected, high-profile citizens. You know, at times I look at them too as a result of ignorance, because I confronted a pastor once upon a time. You know, in the course of my work.
He does it.
Yeah, he does it. He got a fake Namibia passport for a Nigerian, and the Nigerian was from my state.
Wow.
You know, the guy from Kwale. You know, and I asked the guy, I was asking the pastor, what is this? How can you acquire a fake passport for this guy? He said, yes, that I'm just helping him, that I have the link. I said, do you realize that this is a fake document? He said that I've used it for so many people. I've helped them. Some of them are in Spain now. I said, you are using a fake passport for a Nigerian citizen to travel, and you expect the person to do well in that country? Don't you think you are aiding? And you don't know what this guy is going to do there. I was asking him, how many people have you helped? He said, I've helped so many girls and so many boys. Do you know what they are doing there? So which means you are supporting trafficking, you are supporting prostitution, you are supporting drugs, because anybody you assist with fake documents can never do any legitimate work in there. You know, so he was shocked. He was trying to look at it as if I'm trying to blackmail him. Okay. You know, so I feel that even the religious body, the community leaders,
has a lot to do.
We need to, you know, transform their kind of perception, their thinking about some of these things. You getting fake documents or directing people through the wrong means is not a means of assisting people, because they are not seeing it. And another thing is, trafficking has not been properly criminalized in Nigeria. You know,
Yes.
like we have the issue of when you're an armed robber, your father, everybody disowns you.
Yes.
You understand? When you are a kind of
So there's no shame. So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
no
yeah.
stigma attached.
Yes, you know, trafficking is a trade that even if some persons seem to hide, you know, you have people who are proud of it. You know, I see even drug trafficking is even more demonized than human trafficking.
Yes.
You know, but human trafficking is a more grievous offense, sin against humanity, more than even armed robbery. But yet you see people, they are proud. They are seeing it as a lucrative business. They build house with it. They move around. You know, so we need to let some of these our leaders know, especially the high-profile leaders we have in the society, who have involved themselves in this issue of human trafficking with unknowingly, because I look at it, because when you come across them and you confront them with this thing, you will see how innocent they try to prove that what they are doing is just a kind of assistance to these people. You know, one of my students that returned from Libya, you know, left from a church. You understand? It was a pastor that organized them, a girl. You know, the pastor that organized them, that they were going to Italy, that he will assist them, no problem. That when they get to when they get to Egypt, that they will take them to Europe. The girl found herself in a Libya, and in a connection house where she was about being sold, but because she was actually a Christian,
okay,
you know, she stood by her faith and was always praying, speaking in tongues, you know, so they were scared of her. They said, this one is untouchable, now holy of holy. Okay. So that was what saved her. If not, she would have been used for sex slavery and even every other thing. So we need to really, you know, see what we can do to change, because we are not really doing enough in terms of sensitization and passing the right information to the right people.
Yes, creating awareness. Yeah. A lot of people are not aware.
You look at the number of Nigerians being returned from Libya almost on a weekly basis. It's so huge. So it gives the impression that there are quite a number of Nigerians there in detention centers scattered across the country.
There are too many Nigerians out there who cannot really tell their fate right now, because some of them are just there waiting to die. I have to be very open. Waiting to die right now, okay? That's why I keep talking on, hitting it, that the IOM is just God sent. Do you understand me? Like, I, for one, wouldn't have thought that I would be here today, okay, back home, but I'm here, okay? So, back to what he said, I got something. He said they have to create awareness. The right things have to be put in place, okay? Why would I want to leave my country if the country is okay? I mean, if things are well...
No, and the fact is that there's nothing wrong in leaving your country anyway. There's nothing wrong in wanting to leave. But the problem is there's everything wrong when you don't want to do it the right way.
No, okay, yeah, going the right way, okay. You're right. But the thing is, previously, I think about 5,000 people were brought back.
Altogether now, I mean, over 6,000 have been
8,000 from the last 8,000 people.
Yeah.
You can imagine that the few ones, I would say, 8,000 people, not just ordinary people, Nigerians like you and I.
Less than 8 hours ago,
okay,
we had 466 just landed.
Okay.
You know, you know why it's so scary for me?
Weekly basis.
It's scary because it means there are just too many.
No, there are too many. You see, they have not even started.
Okay, now you can imagine a case where these people are going to be pushed into the society.
Yeah. You know, they've not started.
Without the proper
like I said,
they've not started.
my problem is at times when you give out information innocently, people don't take it. You know, they take it for granted.
Yes.
You know, they look at it as, what is this guy saying, or maybe he's exaggerating or what. You see, the number we are talking about people they are bringing now from Tripoli. This is just Tripoli.
This is
just Tripoli. It's just like you are bringing people from
Abeokuta.
You understand? You have not talked about Ore. You have not talked about Lagos. You have not talked about Shagamu. You have not you see, I'm just.
And there are camps there where Nigerians are.
If they go to Sabah, if they go to Benghazi, if they go to what they call it,
Sabah is a place where.
Yeah, if they go to Gatron, downtown, that is those places where Nigerians are. You know, that is where they plan their movement to Tripoli. You see a lot of people. You understand? So you have people, bracks. You have people at different detentions and different places. You know. So, and these people are actually stranded. Because
Stranded
I remember
Nigerians.
some few months ago, somebody called me from a connection house from Sabah and said that they are dying.
When you say connection house,
Yeah.
what exactly?
Connection House is a kind of a ghetto where owned by Nigerians like us that receives fellow Nigerians that are on transit to Europe, you know, and most
They call
times,
them connection
most
houses.
times that is where the criminal activities are carried out. That is where they
Yes.
exchange money for human beings, and that is where our girls are being sold.
Sold
You know,
into-
some of these things would really need to be talked. I remember when I came back, I tried to document my story in a book so that it will outlive me. I said I went when I got to Gatron at the Connection House where they were selling the girls that were in my crew, exchanging money. And I called the guy, I said, what's happening? He said, boy, now so would they do amount? And that's how he turned back. And the next thing I found out that he sold these girls $3,000. You know, and some of these our girls don't know, because if you watch from what happened in our training, you know, some of them were shocked.
Yes.
One of my girls told me that if she had to marry.
They were being sold without.
Yeah, she had to marry. She has to force herself to marry in Libya to avoid going into prostitution.
Yes.
Because that was not what they told her. So we need to pass out the proper information so that people will be equipped.
Yes.
You know, and it will go a long way to reduce this
Knowledge
menace.
is power.
Yeah.
You're right, sir.
For you, Michael, because we have to wrap up now. I don't know. What do you intend to do on your own part now to, you know, to probably enlighten people, educate them about the dangers of, you know, embarking on this kind of journey? You know, sharing your own experience with potential or would-be migrants, if you like, those who would want to take this dangerous route.
Well, I would say I would love to go about campaigning about this journey to Libya, because I call it the journey of death. You know, a lot of people who have died there didn't plan for that, okay? So if the Nigerian government want to take it to the grassroots, when I mean grassroots, campaign as much as possible, going to schools, if possible, go to churches, like he said. These are the places you can go that would really affect a change in
Because
people's-
those are the recruiting
Yes,
grounds.
yes. Just imagine a case where a pastor has to recruit some people, lie to them, an ordained man of God. Then any other thing every other person is doing is justifiable. If a man of God can lie, you know, so we need all these things to be put in place. We really need this.
Oseta, you have anything to say as we wrap up?
Well, nothing much. It's just that all hands should be on deck.
Yes.
Is our problem. It's a Nigerian problem.
It is.
Our people are
It's actually
dying.
an African problem.
Yeah, it's an African
It is
problem.
an African
and
problem.
why I said Nigerian problem, well, at least we constitute more than half of the population of Africa.
Africa.
Yes.
So we have to champion the cause.
Yes.
And Nigerians are always treated badly outside Nigeria. You know, so we should treat ourselves well here by making sure we care for our brothers and sisters and ensure that these people don't fall victims to the hands of smugglers and human trafficking. You know, is a message that everybody has to carry out. We have, let me tell you, for the past 10, 15 years, we have lost a lot of human resources to this deadly journey of no return. You know, we have lost a lot of youths, we have lost a lot of families, you know, we have lost a lot of young ones. So, and we are not fighting war in this part of the country. It's not as if anything is pushing us. So we need to, you know, step up.
And most importantly, people must realize, as you would always say, that the grass is not
No,
green
the grass is
over
not.
there.
Those are lies. Those are phantom stories.
That the grass is not green over there. Because, I mean, look at those, some of our girls who have actually crossed to Italy, so to speak, succeeded in crossing. What are they doing? Prostitution.
I have a guy that just returned back from Italy. He crossed through the Sahara. You know, he went through our reintegration process. He's in Benin now.
Okay.
We opened a shop for him. He's a plumber.
Oh, he actually crossed.
He crossed and spent 2 years. Normally he comes around during our orientation programs to also share.
So he came back on his own.
He said there is nothing there, that he has wasted 3 years of his life, because it took 1 year, then 2 years in Italy. You know, that 2 years he lived in Italy, he begged throughout. You know, he didn't have opportunity. Because, you see, the truth is, you cannot, an undocumented migrant, somebody that was smuggled through states and through the desert into another man's country, you expect to go and work in a company. How will it work? It's not possible. So we should tell these people how it is. You know, when we tell them, they will now begin to understand the realities, because at times when you talk, they will tell you, because you know succeed, now make you the talk.
Exactly.
But thank God for the realities on ground now. You understand?
But some have told you that.
Yes, some have told me that.
That
Even on
because
radio program.
in your own case, you did not.
Yes, you know, I told them that I would have been stupid enough to cross the Mediterranean Sea, but I saw it and tried to return back, that I cannot pay for my debts and I cannot make it through this way. It is not possible. You know, you enslave yourself to go out of the country. You are there, you see them buying people. You know, you see them selling your fellow human beings, and you expect that...
and even people dying in the process.
Yeah, people die in the process, and you expect money to come out from that process. No, it's not possible.
And in your own case, I'm very sure you were not told that you were going to cross that sea when you set out.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was not told, because I was told we were going to go through a kind of tourist journey from Morocco. They would come and pick us by air to Spain. I was not even going to Italy. I was not even going to Libya. My story changed in the middle of the journey. So it's always like that. It ends up like that, you know. So, so people really need the real information. They need the real information.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on the program, and thank you very much for sharing your experiences with us. We just have to continue to do something to ensure, continue to enlighten people, speak about this, just to stop it, because too many Nigerians are just going to their deaths, trying to cross over to Europe now from Libya, you know, cross the Mediterranean Sea, and it's something very dangerous that people should not do. Things are difficult at home, there's no question at all, but, you know, if we're patient enough.
Yeah, even in the midst of difficulties, things can really happen. Since I came back, my life has changed.
Exactly. So, and I believe your life will change.
Yeah, yeah. His life is almost changing now.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't looking like this.
No.
I was looking so pale when I came.
Yeah, exactly. And the freedom you have now.
Yes, the freedom of
this
expression,
is your country.
movement,
Exactly. So there's no Arab man threatening you. So that's just it. All right, that's it on the program. If you want to watch it again, it's simple. Just go to our website, tv360nigeria.com. You'll find this program and lots more there. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TV360Nigeria. Do subscribe to get the latest news and updates, and of course, other programs that we have done. You can join us on Google+. It's at TV360Nigeria, or like us on Facebook. The address is facebook.com/TV360online. You can as well follow us on Twitter. It's at TV360 Nigeria. Well, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.